The Duffer brothers weren't kidding when they told us all that the finale of Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 would be pretty intense, but we all had a prayer circle for our faves this time. Unfortunately, a certain fan favorite still had to go at the end of this season, but this Stranger Things star feels very, very lucky for their final scenes. Find out more about who this actor is in today's video. Joseph Quinn, who portrays newcomer Eddie Munson, who was an instant fan favorite in Stranger Things, but his acting stint was pretty short-lived. Despite this, the actor feels very, very lucky for his final scenes. On July 1st, Netflix aired the final 2 episodes of Season 4 of the popular science fiction series. The concluding episode had a runtime of 2.5 hours and killed off a significant character. Fans will now be aware that Eddie Munson, the Hellfire Club's leader, perished in the conflict with Vecna's evil forces and is still widely suspected of being the murderer in Hawkins. But British actor Joseph Quinn, who played Munson, told Radio Times that he felt fortunate to have been given such a fantastic role. The actor remarked that his character had a great beginning, middle, and end for Eddie Munson. And as an actor, you want characters with those kind of arcs, Quinn told Radio Times. So whilst it would have been great to come back for another season and get together with all those lovely people again, I think it was a brilliantly realized ending for a brilliantly written character. Quinn referred to Eddie's final moments as thrilling to do on the day, in which he partners up with Dustin, Gaten Matarazzo, to divert the monster Vecna by playing Metallica on his electric guitar from the top of a trailer. It was particularly noteworthy, he continued, because the COVID pandemic had stopped events and performances for many people on the set. It's a fantastic conclusion to the character, and yeah, I feel very, very lucky, Quinn remarked. In addition, he said he would love to return for Season 5, the last one, as a figment of Gaten's imagination or something, but that he believed his role had reached its conclusion. Quinn, though, stated that he would prefer for Eddie to be absolved of the Hawkins murders before Stranger Things comes to an end, because he gave his life to save a community that had abandoned him. In all honesty, we had our hunch that Eddie Munson would end up a goner in Season 4, but at least this fan favorite went out with a bang. In a separate interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the British actor spoke candidly of his heartbreaking ending, as well as his Metallica performance in the finale. Quinn notes that while some may have viewed Eddie as a coward, his death was the ideal illustration of how brave the character became, and illustrates how much he developed in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter to talk about Volume 2. In addition, Quinn discusses how exhausting it was to film the death scene and explains that most of the time it was actually him playing the guitar during the iconic Metallica moment. The actor also discusses the endearing friendship that developed between Eddie and Dustin. According to the actor, he's been avoiding social media, especially Twitter, since the finale premiered, saying that it's a kind of madness on the said platform. He's not wrong though. When asked about his final scenes, The Hollywood Reporter was curious how the actor went about his day and how much fake blood he had to choke down on, to which he said it was similar to him pounding pints of that stuff. The final sequence was a bit of a monkey on him and Matarazzo's back, the actor admitted, adding that they tried their best, but it was shot extremely late in the day. The Metallica segment and the bat fight were filmed that evening with very little time remaining, according to Quinn, who also disclosed that it was a kind of very hard night shoot. Nevertheless, they were able to finish his coverage before the sun rose. They eventually received Matarazzo's coverage a few months later. And of course, let's talk about the relationship Eddie had with Dustin. For Eddie, he views the younger character as a brother he never had, as well as a person he always wanted to be. The actor went on to say that there's a fraternal connection between the two characters, as we obviously saw throughout the season. Quinn also mentioned that he had interactions like that with people who were a little older than him out of admiration for them. Those years when you're a teenager, when the hormones are raging and it's horrible and it's weird. Anyone who's walked down the path and has a couple of miles more than you want that advice, Quinn said. And when you've got a younger person, you kind of see aspects of yourself in them. In a way, the actor believes that Eddie knew Dustin would follow him back when he cut the rope to buy the Hawkins gang some time. Eddie also knew that if the bads got through the gate, everyone would be killed, so he makes an effort to eliminate Dustin's ability to follow him. In Volume 1, Eddie ended up being framed for the death of Chrissy and viewed as a coward, but he made his amends in Season 2 by exhibiting his selflessness to save Hawkins. According to the actor, that is a crucial component of Eddie's journey, which is a redemption tale. He continued by saying that he believed Eddie was absolutely plagued by his inability to save Chrissy and his sense of helplessness at the time. Being accused of committing that crime is obviously distressing, as is having to flee. The actor eventually admitted that his character grows tired of feeling helpless. At some point in Episode 8, a light bulb goes off, and he decides to prove himself. The chance then presents itself, but he must ultimately pay the price. But he shows himself that he most definitely is not a coward. When filming for his scenes wrapped up, the actor also shared that he immediately went home since he hates goodbyes, but there were a lot of hugs exchanged and gifts given to him before he made his exit. As for the Metallica scene, it really was Joseph Quinn playing his heart out during their distraction scene. Quinn claims that by starting to play at a young age, he was extremely fortunate. He said that he had a ton of free time, but after reading the script, he went out and bought a guitar and began frantically practicing. The solo was not me. I'm not a heavy metal guitarist, so we got this brilliant virtuoso to come in and do that bit, but the rest I was able to film, the actor revealed. Joseph Quinn wrapped up the interview by saying he hopes Eddie's name is cleared before the show wraps up and that he's up to return to the series if he's ever needed, so hopefully we get to see him a bit more in the final season. Aside from Eddie Munson, there's another character whose death has been confirmed, and this time there's no surprise return. The Duffer brothers, who created Stranger Things, have firmly stated that one significant character is unquestionably dead. Dr. Martin Brenner, Matthew Modine, was shot at by a sniper in the penultimate episode of Season 4, and 11 left him to die in the desert, it appeared. While this seemed to be as conclusive a statement as one could hope for, the Duffers have cleared up any remaining doubts by assuring Josh Horowitz's Happy Sad Confused that he is definitely dead, and added, "For real this time." The two also affirmed that Max Mayfield, Sadie Sink, who was heroically killed in the finale, is undoubtedly still alive, but has seen better days, and Eddie Munson, who is unfortunately no longer with us. After his last scenes in the climax, Quinn talked about the possibility of a Season 5 comeback as Munson. The actor who plays Steve Harrington said to Radio Times that he and his co-star Joe Keery were talking about ways in which he could maybe return, perhaps as a figment of Gaten Matarazzo's imagination or something, as if there could be some kind of space for anything somewhat supernatural like that. And did you know that Joseph Quinn managed to sneak in an improvised line in the final scene? But he wasn't the only actor to do an impromptu act this season. The official Stranger Things Writers' Room Twitter account stated on July 2nd that the cast had created a couple of scenes themselves amid the online commotion. One tweet stated that Erica Help was improvised by Caleb McLaughlin, and another stated that I Love You Man was improvised by Joe Quinn. Although both of the statements, particularly the I Love You Man, were rather moving, we know you're interested in learning more. How about the kiss between Joyce and Hopper, which David Harbour and Winona Ryder entirely made up on the day of filming? The kiss provided some warmth and humanity, which we don't think you can ever get enough of. Yes, the last episode opens with a sex scene between them, which is rather unusual for the show. And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode about what Joseph Quinn had to say about working on his final scenes in Stranger Things. Before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.